What is up, guys? It's your boy Jay here from the Movie Minute. I've got Shawntel. Say what up.
What up, though?
We are doing a review for Lilo and Stitch, the live-action reboot that Disney came out with that made a ton of money over the weekend. 183 million domestic, 341 million worldwide opening weekend, and had one of the biggest Mondays one of the biggest Mondays. I think beating even, I want to say, one of the Avenger movies. What did you think?
I already knew this movie was going to make a whole bunch of money. Like we watched the trailers. We did reviews on the trailers. If you haven't seen them, make sure you guys go ahead and click on that link and watch the trailer review. But
Don't
I already
forget
knew
to
this
like
movie was
and
going to make
subscribe.
that too. But I already knew this movie was going to make a lot of money. You got people like me, possibly people like you, who like watched this movie as a kid, and now we have kids, or I have kids, you don't. But we were going to take our kids to see this movie as a reason to go see this movie. And that's the reason why this movie is making so much money. Now, the animation, the CGI is on point. I really didn't see anything to where it was like, okay, they rushed this. This looks horrible. But yeah, that's the reason why the movie is making so much money. Is because us as adults, now that we got kids, we want them to relive that, and we want to see this too. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm going to take the achievement award for not having kids as long as I can. If my experience with people and their kids in the theater for this is anything to go by, I'll be damn sure if I ever have any kids anytime soon, if ever.
Oh my God, not a bad experience with the kids, bro.
Listen, I get it. It's a kids' movie. People are going to take their kids to it. That's fine. I understand that. It's when the parents just basically are expecting the movie to keep their kids' eyes glued to the screen the entire time, as if kids have a long attention span, anything more than TikTok amount, especially today's kids. It's what happens when you let your kids grow up on iPads, people. They ain't got no attention span. And that's why they develop ADHD, according to some people. But no, I love the original. I don't fully remember, but I do remember going to see the original when it came out in 2002. And I remember exactly which theater I went to as well. It was a theater that was open in Cornelius until they shut it down, and then it became a race shop or something. But I remember watching it going, this is great. And, I connect with it a lot more now as an adult than I did then. Now, I'm going to start off here. I'm not one of these Disney adults or fanatics who can't seem to grow up. I'm a person who likes movies and likes watching them. That's about it. I'm avid for going to the theater. I'm not Tom Cruise crazy level, but, I respect the game. However, that being said, before I pivot to anything more, there's all these collectibles that Regal sold for Lilo and Stitch. They had multiple popcorn buckets. They had multiple things with it. There was people in front of me, and I mean older than me, 2 women. They bought, I think, about $200 worth every single collectible they had. And then they were also wearing Stitch ears on their head, like headbands, and they were wearing Stitch backpacks. God, insufferable.
They were dedicated. Now, to piggyback off of that, I went to an AMC theater, and I've got AMC points. So I was like, you know what? I rarely ever get popcorn or drinks when I go to the theater because the prices are outrageous. So when I went up there and I looked at the prices, I was like, all right, all I got is $10 in the rewards, and the popcorn was $10. So you know what? I'm not going to get anything. So I'm walking into the theater, same thing that you were saying. I see a family in front of the drink station, and they got bags, trash bags, to where the staff had to give them a trash bag to put all of their merch in, and they have bought so much stuff. And the guy is like, hey, you want some popcorn? And he's legitimately got an armful of Lilo and Stitch merch, 2 popcorn buckets in his hand, and he's like, okay, all right, yeah, I'll take it. And then the lady that he was with, she was like, do you want a bigger popcorn bucket? And gave me the big popcorn bucket and gave me a empty large cup for a drink. And the guy was like, are you here with anybody else? Do they want popcorn? And the lady was like, yeah, we spent all this money so we can get all of these things. So like the same thing. They like bought every freaking
Oh,
piece
so
of thing that they could buy.
they didn't give you like one of them, like, did they? They just
No. They
had
didn't
other
give me
ones.
any of the merch. They just gave me a large popcorn and a large cup for a drink.
I'd be like, that'd be dope as hell if you did.
Right. But they had every piece of merch though. Like they had like two big trash cans or trash bags full of the merch. And I don't know exactly what they were selling at AMC, but they had bought everything.
Anyway, well, we'll get to the movie now. I didn't hate this movie, but I really didn't like it. What were your thoughts on this movie?
So I was excited about it. Now, the very first thing I'm going to say is this: I haven't watched all of the live action Disney remakes, especially not Snow White.
Snow White.
This was one of my most favorite live action Disney movies. They kind of stuck like directly beat for beat for majority of the movie, but they also peppered in some new scenes that was fire that brought you in even more. The only thing I would say that I don't like about it is that I don't know if Ving Rhames was doing Mission Impossible or he just didn't want to sign on to it, but I feel like with Ving Rhames being alive and him being Bubbles, he should have still been Bubbles in the live action version of this movie. I feel like that would have brought it home. Also, I don't know the shark guy name at the beginning of the movie when they was
Gantu.
trying to like Cantu.
Captain Gantu, like with a G.
Yeah. So I don't know why they didn't have that character in the movie, but they definitely should have. But all in all, I enjoyed the film because to me it's nostalgia. I already know Lilo was like annoying, but I felt like in the live action version she was like 1,000 times more annoying. That's the most I can say.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit a few points that you were hitting. I don't think that they had a lot without Gantu being in this, which they did originally try for, but said that it didn't really work very well. Also, given that this did not have a high budget because originally this was supposed to just be a Disney Plus release until they switched it for theaters, they cut him out because obviously he'd be real CGI. I do think the CGI in the beginning kind of sucks, and when they're not in human form, the Jumba or Pleakley, they do look kind of off, like more fake than Stitch does.
Yeah.
I also didn't love the fact, and I think this changes how the ending is, and a lot of people don't like the ending, is that they made Bubbles a CIA agent who then goes undercover as a social worker instead of him being an actual social worker who happened to have a past the CIA, which, you know, brings a whole different path down. I didn't love that. As far as Ving Rhames goes, it's not that he couldn't do it because of Mission Impossible, more so than his health has been really like deteriorating, which is why ever since Fallout, he hasn't gone to any of the red carpets for Mission Impossible 7 or 8. Why he never really did much in either film. So that's like he wouldn't have been in good health to be able to play that role in this.
Okay, gotcha.
I didn't really care for Bubbles in this one.
Yeah.
Although he might grow on me if they make another one. Which they will, probably, because it's going to make a shit ton of money. I don't know if... I think Lilo... I think because I had two annoying sets of kids sitting next to me in the theater, I didn't find Lilo as annoying because at least she wasn't bothering me. And that's just, I think, how normal 6-year-olds probably are. Or at least, you know, her version. So I really liked her as Lilo, the actress. I really liked Nani. I didn't think I would, mainly because she wasn't as thick as the one in the cartoon, but that's cartoon behavior. I did like
That's a fact.
how this one, like the portrayal and how she seems so much younger than the animated like cartoon. Yeah, it was more believable to me that she couldn't hold down a job and why she was struggling so much, because she looks like she's not even really 22 or whatever, maybe not even that, when, you know, taking care of her sister. So like the struggle feels a lot more real.
Right.
They cut out most of Elvis Presley stuff, like him learning how to be good. I'm not sure I love the design of him versus the cartoon one, just because they did change like his face or whatever to kind of look a little more odd. But yeah, I enjoyed a lot of parts of this. I didn't enjoy all of it.
I wouldn't.
Oh, the social worker in the live action, found out after the fact, she's the voice actress for the sister in the animated.
Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah, like I stated earlier, like I was excited about this film. I already know that this movie is gonna gross a ton of money for Disney because of the reason I've already stated. Like you said, they're definitely gonna make Fast Track a part 2. Now, will I go see part 2? I highly doubt it because I'm just a fan of part 1. Like even the animated part 2, like I don't no, that's not my thing. But the only way I would go and see this again is like if my daughter wanted to go and see it, and I would tag along with her to go see it. And maybe this time I won't go to sleep.
What I also really disliked, because I didn't say it before, I don't like them making Jumba a full-on villain in place of Gantu because, here's the thing. They could have just, oh wait, no. I was going to say they could have gotten the voice actor for Jumba from the original, but he died a couple years ago, so they wouldn't have been able to do that. But they could have found someone else to play a more threatening. If they're gonna make Jumba a villain, like full-on villain, Zach Galifianakis is not the one to do it.
Right.
Because he's supposed to be this mad scientist. I don't see mad from Zach Galifianakis. I just see incompetent.
Now a live action Zach Galifianakis as a villain would be Chef Kiss if they did it correctly. Because based off of everything you just said, like to see him as a villain in live action first would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I didn't feel like he brought enough to me to go, he's a villain. But if they say for the sequel, we're upping the budget, we're giving you guys Gantu, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Don't know really how that works now because with the context of how you changed it from the original, but sure.
Right. But I wouldn't go see this again in the theater. When it comes on Disney Plus, I'll probably run it back again, but like just to have like some background noise on.
All I know is my draft is off, or my side of the draft is off to a really good start. Unfortunately, you guys will never see that because it was recorded in a way that didn't work. We will definitely post a video once the period of when the draft ends happens, where we kind of will go through it and everything. But between this and Mission Impossible being my like 2 front runners already for the start, I think I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah. I was doing well, but I already knew that both these movies were going to do numbers anyway. So,
hey, at least you didn't have or hurry up tomorrow to trash your numbers,
right?
But let us know what you thought of this Lilo and Stitch remake. Did you enjoy it more or less than the original? The other thing I have to add, because I'm sorry, but I have to, because I was going to say this too. People who are hating on the Child Protective Services, essentially the ending of her abandoning Lilo, is really stupid. In a realistic scenario, and granted there's aliens, so, you're going to be like, oh, well, there's aliens in this, so it can't be realistic, so why should it be? Okay, cool, they're animated. These are actual characters, not those kind. But, listen, she's too young to be able to properly take care of her kid, and she knows that. So she is taking the steps necessary to, go to school, get a degree. The only thing from this movie about Nani that doesn't work for me is the fact that she went to California for school. You couldn't tell me that she couldn't find a marine biology degree at a school on Hawaii. That's some dumb shit.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a 3 out of 5 stitches.
Yeah. I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 4 out of 5, only because of nostalgia purposes. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, I love seeing those characters in live action. And as I stated at the beginning of the video, I feel like this is one of the best live action remakes that Disney has done so far.
Disney, grow a pair and make sure Treasure Planet and Atlantis become live action reboots. Those I can see.
Yes, Lord. Treasure Planet, Hercules, Atlantis for sure. Part 1, not part 2. Part 1. But yes, make those and give it, have faith in your IP. Have faith in your IP. These are fire movies. That's an animation. Have faith in the IP and give it a good enough budget get a good director.
Let us know what you thought of this movie. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I know we've been kind of off lately, but I'm hoping to change things around. And stay tuned for the end of July when we do a movie review in person together for the Fantastic Four First Steps. But until next time, guys, it's been your boy Jay.
Shawntel as always.
And we are all Ohana on this channel.